Hey guys, this is the syllabus video for Chemistry 1211 for spring of 2024. This file is available in D2L at any point during the semester. If you need to look back at it, it'll be posted. Also, this video will be posted in D2L. So this course is going to meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 9:50. My name is Andrew Thomas. My office is 239. If you need to get in touch with me, email is the best way. So there's my email address. Throughout the week, my office hours, I will have an hour every morning that I'll be available. And then there's a couple afternoons that I specifically set aside that I should be in my office. I am here 5 days a week, usually 6 to 8 hours a day. So really anytime you want to come by and see me, you are welcome to. As long as I'm not fully engaged with something else, I will try to pull away and talk to you whenever you need to. Okay. Next section, textbook. The textbook is already purchased through your inclusive access with your tuition and fees, so you do not have to purchase anything else for this class. When you go into D2L, there's a link, one of the modules says course materials. If you click on that, it should take you to the publisher's website where you can get a PDF file of the textbook. It also provides the homework system that we use called Mastering Chemistry for this course, which we will talk about in class a little bit separately. You're also going to need a non-programmable scientific calculator. Basically, this means not a graphing calculator. You should not have one of the calculators that you can type in and save a bunch of information. We need a basic scientific calculator. As long as it has a log button on it and like the trig functions, sine, cosine, and tangent, then that calculator should be able to do everything that we need it to. Okay. The syllabus says you need a large blue book from the bookstore. Actually, we're going to provide those, so don't worry about the blue book. The department has purchased those for us, but you will need, for each test that we take and for the final exam, you'll need a Scantron. Now, a lot of the next sections I'm going to kind of skim over. First of all, you should be taking Chemistry 1211 and 1211 Lab. You should be taking both of them on the Gainesville campus. If you're taking lab on another campus, you need to get that fixed immediately, or you may get dropped from the course at a later date. Also, if anybody already has credit for 1211 lecture or lab, a grade of a C or better, then if you come talk to me, we might be able to get you out of that because you do not have to repeat it unless you want to try for a higher grade. Last thing, math is a very important skill to have when you take chemistry. The prerequisite for the course is you should have either college algebra or a higher math completed. This is a very important thing because we've seen that students that don't have a strong enough math background are not successful in the course. The course objectives, it's a list of things that you should be able to do when you finish this class. I'll let you read through those. Also, the university has kind of developed core ideas that we should be learning in certain classes that we take. I'll let you read through that section yourself. I'm going to go on to the third page, which is where we talk about grading. So in this course, there are going to be 4 tests. The dates are already listed further down in the syllabus. We'll see those in a minute. But each of the 4 tests is going to count 15% of your grade for a total of 60% coming from testing. Then we're going to have homework assignments and quizzes. There's specific homework assignments called learning checks that are in D2L. They have due dates about 1 or 2 a week during the semester. You will have to complete those assignments either on paper or on a tablet. You will convert it into a PDF file, and then you'll upload it back into D2L under the assignments section. We'll also take quizzes in class. Quizzes will usually happen at the beginning of the period. Most of the time, I'll announce quizzes in the class beforehand, but I do reserve the option to give a pop quiz if I want to. They're usually done in the first 5 or 10 minutes of lecture, so make sure you're on time. And actually, this is a little typo that I'll fix. The Mastering Chemistry homework is a separate section. So learning checks and quizzes are going to be 8% of the grade. Mastering Chemistry is also 8%. That is our online homework system. where for every chapter that we do, the publisher and I've gone in and picked out questions related to the materials that we covered, and you have to keep up with those assignments, get them done. As you complete the assignments, you click submit on the website. It grades you as right or wrong on each of those. And basically, if you get about a 90% or higher on mastering chemistry, then you should get full credit for that section, and it'll go in as 100 into the grade book. Okay. Then there's the next section of it is the integrated project. So that's what the blue book is going to be for. There will be some classes that will come in. I will come in with the blue books. I'll pass them out to you guys in the class. We're going to do a demonstration, and then you're going to have to answer some questions based on the demonstration. I'll explain all that as we go. Honestly, that is pretty much a participation grade. If you are present for each of the presentations that we do and answer the questions and turn the blue book back in, then you should get full credit as long as you give a reasonable effort on the assignment. And then finally, the final exam is 15%. That is a comprehensive exam. It's a national exam produced by the American Chemical Society. It's all multiple choice, and it covers chapters 1 through 10, which are the chapters that we're going to cover for the whole semester. Okay, so all in all, with the test being 60% and the final exam being 15%, that means 75% of the grade is based on testing, but the other 25% of the grade primarily is based on effort. If you are working hard and doing the things you should in class, 25% of your grade should be a very high score, and the other 75% will be based on how well you can demonstrate your knowledge. It does mention, if something happens, either snow or COVID or whatever, and it affects how we do our testing in class, based on that, if we need to adjust the grade format, that might happen, but I don't expect that. Finally, course calendar. Test 1 will probably be on January 31st. If we realize we aren't ready for a test and I need to bump it back by a class day or something like that, that is an option that I would like to reserve. But for the most part, we tend to stick with these dates. So the first test will cover chapter 1, chapter 2, and about the first 3/4 of chapter 3. Okay. If we don't get as far as we want, it might only be half of chapter 3 or whatever. But essentially, anything I cover before the test will be on the test. If there's something I don't get to before the test, then it will be on the next test. Okay, so chapter 1, 2, and the first half, 2/3 of chapter 3 will be on test 1. The rest of chapter 3, all of chapter 4, and as much of chapter 5 as we can get to will be on test 2. The midpoint of the semester will be on February 28th, so you will have 2 tests by that point. I will have them both graded and returned to you, so you'll have a pretty good idea of how you're doing at that point in the course and decide whether you need to stay in the class or withdraw. And then finally, tests 3 and 4 are listed as well. Our final exam will be on May 1st from 8 to 10. So all that information is available to you. Just keep in mind that it can be adjusted if needed for the class. There's also a list in each chapter. Some of the faculty and I have gone through the textbook, and we picked out additional problems that you can work if you want to, just for practice and to enhance your knowledge. So these questions are suggested, but you do not have to turn them in. They will not be graded. They don't count as extra credit either. It's purely just for you to have more work to do if you want to try to improve your knowledge. Now, in general, to be successful in this class, it is important, number one, you have to read the textbook. If you don't read the book, you're going to be missing information. When we're in class, I'm going to focus primarily on the things that I think you need help with. So I'm not going to give you 100% of the information in lecture. You have to read the book to supplement your knowledge. You have to learn all the different vocabulary terms that the book talks about. And then sometimes it's going to give examples of things in the real world that are applicable that you should know about. Okay, so read through the book, take notes, highlight the sections, all those things, so that you can be an active learner. You also need to come to class. I don't take attendance every day, but if I give some sort of a graded assignment like a quiz or a take-home assignment or something like that, you are expected to be present when needed, okay? And then if you, in lecture, let's say we cover a topic and you're having a hard time with it, or you missed class one day and you want to know what we did, well, I have gone through, when we were out for COVID in 2020 and 2021, I have videoed all my lectures for the entire semester, following our PowerPoints. I just stood at the board like I am now and went all the way through. And then sometimes I went into more detail than I would normally do in class. So if you want to go back and review a topic that you either missed it or didn't understand it, all the videos are available on YouTube. In D12, there's a link that will take you to my playlist in YouTube, and you're welcome to watch that. It is not required, but a lot of students do watch it, and they say that it's helpful. Then, so if you've read the book, attended lecture, and then possibly watched the videos if you need to, then your next thing would be doing the learning check assignments. These are the assignments in D12. They mostly are pretty basic problems that if you've read the book and kind of use the book as a resource as you work them, most students can figure them out without too much trouble. Once you finish the learning check assignments, when you go to mastering chemistry, some of those problems are going to be a little bit more challenging. I really recommend that you group up. You do not have to work by yourself on learning checks or on mastering chemistry. The actually people that form study groups and do these things together tend to be more successful on their homework itself, and they actually understand things better for the test. So I like the idea of you working together. And then there are additional worksheets and problems at the end of the chapters that you can do. You can come see me at any point to ask for help, explain things. In addition to me, there is a paid tutor at the ACT Center that's there throughout the week. Their job is to be available for you when you need help. There is a professional tutor there, and then there are also students who have been through chemistry that are paid to be there also. So feel free to use those guys. The other faculty in our department are very helpful and don't mind students asking them questions. And then finally, we have lots of chemistry majors that if you want to have a private tutor, we can actually contact one of them and set you up for paid tutoring if needed. I would say there are a lot of other options to try out before that, so I would not go straight to a paid tutor unless you just feel like that's something you want to do. Finally, as we go through, there's a bunch of random things. You are going to need some of the things we do in the class go through D2L, so you need to have a laptop computer or a tablet that you can use. Generally, if you want to take notes in class on a tablet or a laptop, I'm okay with it as long as you're doing schoolwork. If I find out at any point that you are doing, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or any of that kind of stuff while we're in class, then we're going to have to put computers away and everybody's going to have to take notes by hand, which is not something that I want to enforce. So Mastering Chemistry is a website that you have to go to. If you turn things in late, there will be a reasonable period afterward where you can turn in late and get a 20% deduction. But after a certain point, there is no reason to do it. Like if you haven't done homework and then we take a test and we move on to new material, it's kind of too late to do that homework and get any credit for it. We already talked about the last day to withdraw. Attendance, I'm not requiring it, but I will say if a student just isn't coming to class and isn't completing assignments, there is a point where I do have the ability to withdraw you from the class administratively if needed. I would definitely try to talk to you first and try to figure out what's going on. When we take tests, we'll talk about some of the policies we have related to the test. And I don't know, the rest of it you can read over yourselves. That's pretty much it.